In the sweaty, chaotic summer of 1977, New York City was gripped by fear. Disco pulsed through clubs, blackouts plunged streets into darkness, and a killer who called himself the Son of Sam hunted young lovers and women with long, dark hair. His rampage left 6 dead, 7 wounded, and a city paralyzed. This is the twisted tale of David Berkowitz, his lonely childhood, descent into madness, brutal crimes, bizarre dog obsession, absurd capture, and unlikely quest for redemption. David Berkowitz was born Richard David Falco on June 1st, 1953, in Brooklyn, New York. His mother, Elizabeth Betty Broder, convinced him during an affair with Joseph Kleinman, a married man who refused to acknowledge the child. Betty, already raising a daughter from a previous marriage, gave David up for adoption days after his birth. Nathan and Pearl Berkowitz, a Jewish couple in the Bronx who owned a hardware store, adopted him, renaming him David Richard Berkowitz. They raised him with love, giving him a bar mitzvah and a stable middle-class life, but cracks appeared early. David was a troubled kid, chubby, awkward, and a target for bullies who mocked his size and heritage. He reportedly suffered head injuries as a child, including being hit by a car and struck with a pipe, which some speculate contributed to his later instability, though no definitive medical link exists. By age 10, he was moody, prone to tantrums, and cruel to animals, once poisoning his mother's parakeet, Pudgy. Out of jealousy, he developed a fascination with fire, later admitting to setting over 1,400 small blazes in alleys and trash cans, meticulously logging them in a diary. Teachers described him as bright but disengaged, often skipping school or picking on smaller kids. When Pearl died of breast cancer in 1967, David, then 14, was devastated. Nathan had kept her illness a secret, fueling David's anger and sense of betrayal. His grades plummeted. In 1971, Nathan remarried a woman named Mary, who had a grown daughter, and moved to Florida, leaving David alone in the Bronx at 18. That year, David enlisted in the Army, serving in South Korea and Fort Knox, Kentucky. He earned a sharpshooter badge, dabbling in drugs like LSD, and was nicknamed Wolf for his hairy physique. Discharged in 1974, he drifted through jobs: cab driver, security guard, postal worker, and briefly attended Bronx Community College. In 1975, he tracked down his birth mother Betty, only to learn he was illegitimate, deepening his feelings of rejection. By 1975, Berkowitz was unraveling. Living alone in a dingy Yonkers apartment at 35 Pine Street, he worked nights sorting mail for the U.S. Postal Service. Isolation fed his paranoia and resentment, especially toward women, whom he blamed for rejecting him after high school, girlfriend's infidelity. His first known violent act came on Christmas Eve, 1975, in the Bronx Co-op City. Wielding a hunting knife, he attacked 2 women. One, possibly a Hispanic teenager, escaped and was never identified. The other, 15-year-old Michelle Foreman, survived 6 stab wounds but required hospitalization. Unsatisfied with the knife's messiness, Berkowitz bought a .44 caliber Charter Arms Bulldog revolver in Texas during a 1976 visit to a friend. The Son of Sam killings began on July 29, 1976 at 1 a.m. in the Bronx Pelham Bay. Donna Lauria, 18, an aspiring EMT, and Jody Valenti, 19, a nursing student, sat in Valenti's parked Oldsmobile after a night at a disco. Berkowitz approached, pulled his .44 from a paper bag, and fired 3 shots. Lauria died instantly from a neck wound. Valenti, hit in the thigh, survived and described a stocky man with curly hair. October 23, 1976, Flushing, Queens. Carl Denaro, 20, and Rosemary Keenan, 18, sat in Keenan's parked Volkswagen. Berkowitz shattered the passenger window with 5 shots. Hitting Denaro in the head, he survived but needed a metal plate, and injuring Keenan with glass fragments. November 27, 1976, Floral Park, Queens. Teens Donna DeMasi, 16, and Joanne Lomino, 18, were on Lomino's porch when Berkowitz, feigning confusion, asked for directions, then opened fire. Lomino was paralyzed from a spinal wound. DeMasi, shot in the neck, recovered. The attacks escalated in 1977, January 30th, Forest Hills, Queens. Christine Freund, 26, and John Deal, 30, sat in Deal's car after a movie. Berkowitz fired through the windshield, killing Freund with shots to the head and shoulder. Deal survived neck and hand wounds. March 8th, Forest Hills, Virginia Voskerichian, 19, a Columbia University student, was walking home when Berkowitz shot her in the face at point-blank range, killing her instantly. April 17th, Bronx, Valentina Soriani, 18, and Alexander Esau, 20, were in a borrowed car. Berkowitz fired 4 times, killing both with headshots. He left a taunting letter for police, signed Son of Sam, ranting about blood and death. June 26th, Bayside, Queens. Judy Placido, 17, and Sal Lupo, 20, sat in Lupo's car after a disco. Berkowitz shot them in the head and neck. Both survived. The final attack, July 31st, 1977, Bath Beach, Brooklyn. Stacy Makowitz, 20, and Robert Violante, 20, on their first date parked near Lover's Lane. Berkowitz fired 4 rounds through the car window. Moskowitz died from head wounds. Violante lost one eye and most vision in the other. Berkowitz's motives were a toxic mix of rage, loneliness, and thrill-seeking, rejected by women and haunted by his illegitimacy. He targeted couples and young women as symbols of his pain. He later admitted to enjoying the power and control, often revisiting crime scenes to relive the adrenaline. His method was calculated. He'd scout lovers' lanes or quiet streets, approach parked cars or pedestrians, and fire his .44 Bulldog, which he kept in a paper bag for concealment. He preferred night attacks, blending into the urban shadows, and chose victims randomly, often targeting women with long dark hair, possibly tied to his resentment of his birth mother. Berkowitz's Yonkers neighbors found him odd but unremarkable until his paranoia surfaced. He fixated on Sam Carr, a neighbor at 316 Warburton Avenue, whose black Labrador, Harvey, barked constantly. Berkowitz sent anonymous letters accusing the Carrs of witchcraft, firebombed their door, and in April 1977 shot Harvey. The dog survived. He claimed Harvey was possessed by a 6,000-year-old demon named Sam, who ordered him to kill through barks. Other neighborhood dogs howling fueled his delusions, though he owned no pets himself. In taunting letters like one sent to the New York Daily News in May 1977, he wrote, "I am the monster, Beelzebub, the chubby behemoth." Later, he admitted the demon story was a fabricated insanity defense, though some believe his mental state blurred reality and delusion. The NYPD's Operation Omega with 300 detectives hunted the Son of Sam for over a year. The break came during the Moskowitz-Violante shooting. On July 31, 1977, Berkowitz parked his yellow Ford Galaxy illegally near a fire hydrant in Bath Beach. As he committed the murder, a traffic cop issued a parking ticket. A witness walking her dog saw a man, later confirmed as Berkowitz, remove the ticket and stare menacingly at her. Days later, Sam Carr's daughter, a police dispatcher, reported Berkowitz's harassment of her family, including the Harvey shooting and letters. Police traced the ticket to Berkowitz's car, registered at 35 Pine Street, Yonkers. On August 10th, 1977, detectives staked out his apartment, spotting a rifle and a Son of Sam style letter in his car. They arrested him as he tried to drive away. Berkowitz smirked. Well, you got me. I'm the Son of Sam. His apartment revealed walls scrawled with rants, ammunition, and diaries logging his arsons and killings. The parking ticket, a mundane slip, undid a killer who terrorized New York for 13 months. Berkowitz confessed to all 6 murders and 7 attempted murders within hours of his arrest. Initially, he pushed the demon dog narrative, but psychiatrists found him competent, diagnosing paranoid schizophrenia yet ruling he knew right from wrong. On May 8, 1978, he pleaded guilty, foregoing an insanity defense. He received 6 consecutive 25 to life sentences, 365 years total, and was sent to Attica Correctional Facility. In 1979, another inmate slashed his throat, requiring 56 stitches. Berkowitz called his survival a miracle. In 1987, Berkowitz became a born-again Christian after reading Psalm 34:6 in a fellow inmate's Bible. Now 72 and housed at Shawagunk Correctional Facility, he calls himself Brother David, ministers to prisoners, and runs an online ministry, Son of Hope, expressing remorse. Eligible for parole since 2002, he's been denied 12 times, most recently in May 2024, often skipping hearings or attending to apologize to victims' families, stating he doesn't deserve freedom. I was a prisoner of my own criminal mind, he wrote, but now I'm a prisoner of hope.